start the presentation for each group. So first presenter is India.
Good afternoon, everyone. So in this, we would like to give you a brief overview about how the discussion went on and what were the merits and demerits and problems existing. So first, if you see, we have about 1.5 million engineering students graduating every year. That's one of the highest for any of the countries, on par with China. And there is no UNISEC in India or Algeria. We were from 3 countries in our group, India, Algeria, and Japan. Unlike Japan, in India and Algeria, we don't have a proper setup for UNISEC. So how exactly things go in our countries is more or less the space segment is regulated and controlled by the government, and there is a very highly limited participation. So not even at this point of time, not more than 10 universities are taking part in the space activities. And already there are about 5 universities which have already flown satellites. But out of those 5, only 2 of them have a succession plan. So they are again taking up these small satellites at the university level. And apart from that, probably there is no university that has an international collaboration. So which is again a kind of hurdle for Indian universities to go global. What are the problems that exist at this point of time? So we have limited space education, and rather if I were to say, there is only one university that is dedicated for space sciences and space technology in India. And if you speak of all the other universities, we have bits and pieces of space sciences. We don't have a dedicated department for them. And there is no consensus to work together. So many at times it so happens that the universities work in silos. They don't work together with others. And apart from that, one of the biggest factors is there is no direct funding available. What happens is usually we write a decent enough research proposal, and if that's good, we get money. But to build a satellite, I have not seen any university getting direct funding from the Space Agency of India. It's only in bits and pieces. Apart from that, the biggest setback, which has slowly started to improve of late, is the quality professors. So of late, people have started to explore space sciences domain, and for that, aerospace engineering was considered to be the first step. So in almost many of the universities today, you find aerospace engineering department established with bits and pieces of space sciences. And probably there are only 1 or 2 universities which have a clean room setup, which is very low. So what are the merits if we have UNISEC in India? One thing that's very clear is there would be a clear-cut national and international collaboration. Say, for example, with Japan, we would definitely have a very good international collaboration. And apart from that, the faculty and student exchange rate would also increase, both in India and outside of India. Say, for example, Japan has passed through those tough times to establish UNISEC, so we can learn a lot of lessons from them, and at the same time, we can also learn lessons from, say, UNISEC Europe or UNISEC Mexico, and then start having a kind of exchange of both students and faculty in the UNISEC segment. And the biggest thing at this point of time would be applying for a joint national or international funding. I am more in favor of an international funding wherein we have, say, 4 or 5 universities spread across 3 or 4 continents, and then we get money from the respective agencies, which is again an international funding, and which would help build up the infrastructure and the knowledge base for the coming generations. Creation of space relevant infrastructure, that's one of the main important things. And once we have UNISEC, as you know, we produce 1.5 million engineering graduates, and there is no dearth of students who are motivated into sciences, space sciences. If we are able to provide a decent infrastructure, they would definitely come back and start working inside of India. What are the first steps? So as I've told you, my university, IIT Hyderabad, and there are other 3 or 4 universities, the Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, and IIT Kharagpur and IIT Bombay, which are interested in space sciences. So UNISEC would provide us a fair platform to come together, wherein we all collaborate, and one university would have one office and the other university would be doing another initiatives with regards to UNISEC. And we are expecting to have a short event with Space Up wherein the students from all the 3-4 places come together and announce the formation of UNISEC, wherein we also expect Mrs. Ray Kawashima to be coming to India to launch the chapter, which would help all of us to come together on a single platform and start exploring the possibilities of collaboration. Rather, in my terms, I would say a collaborative competition. That's the best way to do. And instead of going into the CubeSats and small sats at the very first level, having a CanSat national competition, which doesn't need heavy expenditure, that would be the first step, and that would definitely make students aware of the fact that even with the limitations that they have, they can definitely start venturing into the space sciences. The biggest one, or the most important one, is we need to identify a national mission with university collaboration. Say, for example, we need to build a constellation. So say why not 4 to 5 universities come together and take up a cause for the national interest, which would definitely be funded by the space agency, wherein we learn, and it's a win-win situation for both the agency, for the students, and for the society. The roadmap that we look into is we want to make joint funding applications, which are in the discussion stage at this point of time. And the coordination between various space agencies, universities, space agencies and universities for turnkey missions. And probably here, we definitely see the private sector slowly creeping into the framework, and only then things would start to go forward. And we want to add to the ground station network, and because till 2019, I think the UNISEC meetings have been fixed, so why not have 2020 meeting in India, where all of you can come and explore the space infrastructure that we have and also enjoy the Indian food especially. And thank you very much.